the last installment we're going to do, let's just do it. Okay, less talk and more drawing. So what we're talking about is aesthetics. That's another vocabulary word. Aesth. Sound it out. Aesthetics. Aesthetics. Aesthetics, which is it's kind of hard to define because you're going to get into it's basically a set of canons or established an agreed upon established acceptance of what is beautiful. So it's a very difficult science, the science of aesthetics, because it's subjective. So then you have the science of functionality and aesthetics. Let me just stop talking because this stuff is so esoteric. That's another vocabulary word. Esoteric. Sound it out. Esoteric. Esoteric. And we're drawing today to illustrate aesthetics and that it's a subjective science, but that it's somewhat subjective. I'm here to say that there should be an accepted determination of structure. But about 10 million people will say, oh, no, there doesn't have to be. And so then the only thing I could say, because of the science of aesthetics, the only thing I could say is, well, I can't argue with you because the very nature of something being subjective is that someone else might think something else is beautiful that you don't find to be beautiful. Okay, but however, if you want to make a living, let's say you want to draw something that exists so that you could try, what we're talking about is careers in art. That's what I'm talking about. So let's say you're trying to draw something like a viola player, and you want to sell that idea to somebody who wants to pay you money for it. Usually you're not going to have somebody wanting to pay you money for drawing how you feel. I'm sorry, it's just the truth. I mean, in school, it can get you through art class. You could because, and I've been an art educator in the public school system, and it's kind of frustrating because no matter what the thing is, I regard art class in the public school system. It has to be what I say is in terms of practical application only, which means unless you really want to go into fine arts, and then I personally would do everything I could or can to help a student to develop a portfolio to be able to present to an art school. But like take Pratt, they have practical applications for art, architecture, design, all these things. Let's say you want to combine architecture and engineering to help design structural supports to repair some of the bridges that have been built, such as what happened in Baltimore, where there's a big need for functional aesthetics that basically the design of a bridge has to do with aesthetics, but far more with function and safety. But aesthetics is a part of it. That people want it to look nice, so you have architects working with engineers and designers. But ultimately, the engineer is responsible for safety, so they have the final say on a structure of any importance that involves the safety of others when they live or work or learn or grow within that structure. Okay, so we have art, music, math, academics, structure, and one last thing, which is an illustration using piano of what I would have to call, and let's say if we get the light better on this side, what I would have to call, that's kind of more interesting, okay, and we hear that lower note ringing, what I would have to call analogous in music, scales, we just did a drawing. So I would say drawing and scales, think of them as the same thing, and think of a symphony as the same thing as a painting, a symphony of color versus a symphony of sound, to create a positive reaction and response and emotion within humanity. And also something nice for plants and animals. Every species and every living thing has been scientifically proven to respond positively to positive music. They've used Mozart because Mozart is an accepted aesthetic, very pleasing, beautiful kind of accepted stuff. As composed to cacophony, which may not have a. Then they've used that. They've used different examples of cacophony on plants, and it's had a negative effect. So let's go ahead, but then that becomes subjective also. Right? Beyond the experimentation, because you have different cultural groups with different forms of what you might call angry, cacophonous sounds, which have to do a lot of times with a political. I don't want to say what's a word, political soapbox or stance that supersedes what music should be is an ultimate communing in a positive way between all races and cultural groups and of humanity and also plants and animals. Everybody can get together through music. You can forget your troubles. Whether they might be that you're hungry today, that's a lot of people in the world, and that's a hard one to forget, but it might be that you can commune through music, learn and grow through music, use it as a skill and supersede your physical anguish, which who knows what that might be. You might be hungry, you might be homeless in a shelter with a piano in the rec room. It doesn't matter what it is, you can find unity and happiness through music. It supersedes and is interwoven throughout all forms of worship, music, and supersedes worship, but yet not. I mean, that's a conversation that it has to do with social studies and cultural groups, and all the cultural groups we study, if we study them equally, religion and socioeconomic aspects of society and history, and what really happened versus what certain groups say happened that are running things, whatever, what it ends up being is we have to agree upon a structured aesthetic, even in academics. Having said that, here's a scale versus a musical symphony, which is not a symphony, but if you imagine each note in every hand representing a section of the symphony, then you can write a symphony. Okay, so not that I'm a composer. I just play one on YouTube. Just kidding. I don't even do that. I'm playing hooky. I'm supposed to be doing painting only, visual art only, sculpture only, printmaking only. Bear with me. Hope you enjoy. So we got a scale. Here's a scale, which is a C major scale. Let's start with that. So you're going to use the first three fingers, and then you're going to use all 5 fingers for the last 5 notes. So you're going to go. So you're just going to practice that. Now you go up and down the keyboard. And there's different things you can practice to limber up your fingers for that. Then you got a rhythm, and there's a structured rhythm that I find very beautiful that had its roots in Africa, and it's something with not necessarily was accepted throughout. All it is rhythm throughout all humanity and all music, which in our case, what we're going to use today is a kind of a low bass bluesy beat. So. Okay, and then a blues scale analogous to that is. And then in F, you got 1-4-5, an accepted aesthetic structure, what we use even in blues. As a matter of fact, most definitely and emphatically in blues, it's essential for blues, which is a beautiful and essential art form in our culture in this day and age. And its F is back to C. So then you have other things that also do the bass notes. Let's see if my camera withstands this, because it's a lot of vibrations. That one, and then while you're doing that, it's a matter of practice. But okay, and also we're out of time. I want to try to upload these in shorts, and we're going to have take all day on this particular camera phone. and Android. It's going to take all day to upload these as shorts, and then I'm going to have to edit and figure out which ones I want to keep. I'll try to keep everything, but I don't know. Everybody have a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you so much for listening. Have a wonderful day. Thank you. Thank you.